There we go. We are back, baby. Hey, the Detroit Lions are rolling. We're going to go over some power rankings. The Detroit Lions might be number one in one of our power rankings here tonight. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, though. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner. If you guys don't know, I do not lose. Never lost. Not a day in my life. Even when I lose, I still win.
Until the Oklahoma drill.
I still will find a way to win that.
Jeez.
Broder to my right here, Detroit Lions beat reporter as always.
Hi.
Matt Broder, Jalen in the TD booth holding it down, and Nick in the sound booth. We've got our full crew back today.
Go.
By the way, shout out Big Show Picks with the new baby.
Let's go. Shout out Big Show.
Congrats.
Big Daddy, Big Dad.
I think shout out to Big Show's out in my neck of the woods, out where I'm at, way out about an hour away from here.
Out in the Booners?
Yeah, out in the Booners.
See what I did there? The
I like
Boonies?
that, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, if you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us, please, and tell a friend about the show. Let's keep growing this thing together.
Or tell an enemy about the show.
Or an enemy.
We
You guys
want
are
it
part of
all.
this family here with Woodward Nights. You guys watching it, all of you listeners. So tell people about the show.
Tell Debo
Let's
about
grow
the
this
show.
thing together. Let's grow it together.
Yeah, let's
All
do
right,
it.
boys, let's do it. Power rankings, Broder.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
Well, we're going to start with this because we're going to do power rankings right now at 9:15, and then right after that, we're going to go at 9:30. We're going to look at some other ones around the league.
PD.
Pete Prisco.
Booner.
Pete Prisco might be on my good side. I'm not going to lie.
Is it
He might be on my good side.
a positive
It
result
might
from
be a
Mr.
positive.
PD Pablo?
I'm not going to give it away, but Pete Prisco might have. He might have heard Booner a lot.
Yeah, freak a leak, baby.
All right, let's start with it.
Give me your number 10, Boone.
Number 10. Last
10.
week, my number 10 was the Jacksonville Jaguars. This week,
Dude, me too.
oh, wow. This week, I had a team that actually won a game. That won last night, Monday Night Football. I put the Dallas Cowboys at number 10. They dropped for me one position.
Because of how they won, or just
How they won, and
other
I think
teams
just
doing-
other teams. I just feel like when it just I kind of power rankings, I do go off how you played the last week and what you did. I also do like to go off the eye test a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I want to go off who I really feel is a good team and not. Dallas probably shouldn't have won that game last night, in my opinion. I don't think they're contenders. I don't think they're sitting up there in the top 6, in my opinion. I think they're sitting there at the 7 to 10 position. I put them at 10 in this week's ranking.
Let us know what you guys think of that in the chat. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you guys want to do to show your love. Dallas Cowboys at 10. I'm cool with that. I have them a little higher. They didn't move at all on my big board, but my number 10 is a new addition. I did have the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. I have a team who just went in and beat the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers. The Cleveland Browns, I'm bringing all the way up into my top 10, even without Deshaun Watson. Actually, I should say because they're without Deshaun Watson. No, that defense is legit. And you look at, they're 3-2, which isn't super exciting, but they've beaten the Bengals, they've beaten the 49ers. Their 2 losses, which are the Ravens and the Steelers. It's a pretty good body of work so far. 49ers, got to admit, that's one of the biggest wins that I have in my top 10, except for maybe the Detroit Lions.
I'm going to say I didn't put the Browns in my top 10.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's an L for me.
Would they have just missed the cut?
Probably 11 or 12.
Yeah. See, my just missed the cut at Seahawks, Bengals, Steelers, Jets, Rams, those types of teams.
My number 9, though, moved up one spot from 10 last week.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Come on.
They're
Or the
sitting at
Jaguars, as the morning show says.
Yep, I think someone actually corrected me about that as well.
Really?
The Jags or
Jaguar, Jaguars.
Jaguars.
No, Wars.
Jaguars. No, they beat the Colts 37-30. Pretty dominant victory. I moved them up a little bit. I did drop the Cowboys past them. Right now, I think if you put 2 teams on the field, Jags versus Cowboys, I think the Jags win.
Right.
So that's where I stand with it. That's why I put them at 9 and put
That's
the
a good way to
Cowboys
look at
at
it.
10.
I got the Jaguars at number 9, too.
Perfect.
Hey.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. They moved up 1 for me, too. And number 8, I got your Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, wow.
They stayed the same. I mean, you look at them, they've got a decent little body of work. They beat the Giants, Jets, Patriots, and Chargers. To go in and beat the Chargers like that, I know I still don't have much belief in them, so I didn't move them up, but I think that defense is good enough. Micah Parsons showed up when they needed him. Not his best game ever, but showed up when they needed him. The Cowboys, they've got some pieces. I need to see a little bit more out of them. But my number 7 is a team we're going to see very soon.
Let me get my 8 real quick.
Oh, do you not? Yeah, give me your 8. Yeah,
My 8.
Yeah.
My 8 is a team the Detroit Lions are playing this week. The Baltimore Ravens.
Nice.
They're sitting at 4-2. I put actually a 3-3 team above the Ravens this week. But to
What?
me, yeah,
A 3-3 team?
I did.
Okay.
The thing with the Ravens is last week they lost to the Steelers. which was a tough loss to me. And then this week they went on the road, obviously played in London, to the Titans, and they just didn't show enough for me to be like, hey, they're a top 6 team. Like, they didn't go out, they just were good. And the Titans were in the game the whole time with Malik Willis coming in. And the only reason that the Ravens won that game is because of Justin Tucker. So I'm not going to sit here and say that they're a top 6, top 7 team. I'm going to throw them at 8. And you're going to see Lions playing another top 10 team this week. So, because last week I had the Bucs in the top 10.
For all those same reasons, I had them at 7 where they were last week. They obviously came away with the win, but they didn't show me enough to move up. They're good enough. I believe they're good enough to not move back. So, hey, 4-2 in my number 7 spot. At number 6, this is where it starts to get interesting. The order of these top 6. Actually, I think you have one, if I understood you correctly. You have one that's not even on my top 10. That's sneaking in here.
3-3
I've got the Buffalo Bills at number 6. I know they just lost.
Wait, who's your 7? You skipped 7.
Oh, I skipped 7. I'm all over the place.
Broder is
no. I didn't skip it. I said it's the Baltimore Ravens. I said the same reason for the same reason.
Oh, my 7. I have to hit my 7. Then.
Yeah, that's right. So you have to hit your 7. You give me 7 and then 6.
All right, I'll give you guys my 7 real quick. Last week, the Seahawks were my number 7. The Seahawks have dropped out of my rankings.
Ooh.
The Seahawks are no longer in the top 10.
They didn't look very good.
They lost versus this team that I have at my number 7 right now. The 3-3.
It's a big jump.
Cincinnati Bengals. It is a big jump, but I do think they deserve some credit. They're actually starting to turn things around. This is a team to where if they're playing right, they're a top 5 team in the NFL. And right now they just beat a Seahawks team who last week was top 7 in my rankings. They just went out there and beat a team. They showed that once they start getting healthier, they're legit. They're scary. You don't want to see the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's a team to me. If they start getting things going, that's a Super Bowl team that you could see in the AFC come out of the AFC. So I'm going the Bengals at 7. Number 6, I think we might have the same number 6, Buffalo Bills. They were my number 6. That's my second team outside the Lions. I've made that very vocal. I've had Josh Allen to win the MVP. But they haven't moved at all. They didn't move at all. They didn't really sit there and woo like they did at, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Didn't show me what I wanted to see. Really. They struggled versus the Giants, and they probably could have lost that game versus the Giants. Should have.
I got him at number 6 too. No need for much further explanation there. Now we start to get interesting. Wait, did you give 6?
I just did. Yep.
Yeah, you just did 6. So my number 5. I got the Philadelphia Eagles.
Me too.
At 5-1. You got the Eagles at 5 too.
Yep.
I love it.
The fraud Eagles.
This was the moment, the week where they gave me enough or gave me too little enough. They gave me a reason to move them back and have other teams jump in front of them. So Eagles, I still think they're going to be. I don't know if they're frauds. They're just. I don't believe in them yet. They got the pieces. The coaching's kind of all over the place. They haven't learned to replace Shane Steichen and the other coordinator they left. I'm blanking on his name. So
frauds.
They've got their schedule is ridiculous moving forward. So there's some question marks there.
They've already lost 3 or 4 one possession, or won 3 or 4 one possession games. Like, they're just, every team's in. They're playing the Commanders, the Rams, whoever they're playing. They just lost to the Jets. They're in just all these one possession games. The reason they're 5 in mine is because they're 5-1. Yeah. But like you said, they have one of the toughest schedules coming up the next 3 or 4 games. They're going to drop, I think,
the rest of the season.
I think they end up dropping
ridiculous. Ridiculous. So what about at number 4?
Number 4. I have a team that was 5. They moved up 1 spot in my rankings from last week. The Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are my number 4. A lot of people I saw some people had them at number 1. I moved them up. They were at 5 last week for me. I just moved them up 1 spot. They're doing nothing that's like spectacular to me.
Yeah.
You know, they played the Broncos. It was a 1 possession game until the end. Like, the Broncos had a chance to go win the game at a point.
Yeah, you look at their wins. Other than the Jaguars, Bears, Jets, Vikings, Broncos, it's not a very impressive body of work for being in that top 3. But again, it's Mahomes, it's Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones.
Is that your 4 as well?
No, it's not. I got the Miami Dolphins at number 4. I still have the Chiefs ahead of the Dolphins. Don't get me wrong, that offense is incredible. And although they're facing some injuries, I think they're not a fake team. I just don't have faith in their defense yet. They are getting Jalen Ramsey back very soon. They got some players on defense, so I'm surprised they're not playing as well.
Yeah.
But they need some sort of defense to balance what their offense does. They can't get in a shootout every single game. When the playoffs come along, they're not going to score 70 points.
I have them at 3 as well. I have the Dolphins at 3. There's that side of the ball that you can question. The defense for sure, but that offense is scary. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, like those two guys together, that's a scary duo. That might be the best. That's the best in the NFL right now.
Yeah, it's wild. And then you had Mostert, who's arguably the second best running back in the league.
Down is a little tough.
But Jeff Wilson's coming back. I'm not worried about their offense at all. They're going to be fine as long as Tua is healthy. So what we're saying is you had Kansas City at 4, Dolphins at 3. I had Dolphins at 4.
I'm guessing you have Kansas
City at 3. And we haven't mentioned a team from Detroit yet. Shall we?
Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Actually, yeah, you go first.
It depends. I don't know who you have at number 2. I don't know who you have at number 1. You go first.
I'm going to go first because I
might have a different team at number 2 than you.
I have the Detroit Lions at number 2.
Whew.
I have the Detroit Lions as the number 2 team in the NFL. Not 5. Not the $5 bill that Dan Campbell pulled out at number 2. They've done enough to prove that they're worth that spot. They're playing the best football of all of these teams. You could even argue the San Francisco 49ers are playing better football all around than the 49ers. I still have the 49ers at number 1, and we'll obviously give that away. They are tough. They are great. But this is about the number 2 team, and it's the Detroit Lions. And Booner, I see him over here.
Doesn't matter
he's in
if
the
you
kitchen.
have one
He's got
ass cheek
cook.
and 3 toes. I will
number
beat your
2
ass.
for me, Broder. Me and you did have a conversation before the show. And you know, I'm going to call Omaha real quick. Omaha! The number 2 team for me in the NFL is the San Francisco 49ers. Woo! And the number 1 team in the NFL right now, I'm going to say the Detroit Lions.
Holy sh!
Right now, if we're talking about power rankings this week, Matthew Broder, the Detroit Lions had the best football team last weekend. San Francisco had injuries. The Eagles didn't look great. They lost. The Dolphins, they've been the Dolphins. But the Detroit Lions have taken the NFL by storm. They have proven that they can play football with anyone in this football league right now.
Yeah, baby.
The Detroit Lions are right now the best team in football, and they will be, and they will continue to prove why they are. They'll go get a win this Sunday. They'll improve to 6-1. Jared Goff is playing at an elite level. He's playing up there with the best of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now. That gives me the confidence. If you have a quarterback doing that and you're 5-1, you can go beat any football team. I believe the Detroit Lions can win any game right now if you put them out on a field in a neutral field.
I think they could win on the road too. They can win any game against any team. I'm not saying they're going to win. They're going to beat the 49ers 10 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times. They can beat the 49ers in San Francisco.
And the thing is, I'm sorry, Broder.
No, go.
The thing is with this too is that this is all opinion based too, because there's going to be people who have the Lions at 2, 3 different spots. I truly feel like though this Detroit Lions team let's look at, they do have injuries right now. If David Montgomery's healthy, if Brian Branch is healthy, which they will be in the next couple weeks, this team can compete with anyone. Anyone. And I truly, truly believe that. I truly believe this Detroit Lions team is one of the best in the NFL. Top 2. They're sitting up there with the 49ers. A couple weeks ago, you'd be sitting there being like, I don't know about the 49ers. The Eagles, the Dolphins, the Chiefs. No, this Lions team is legit. They went on the road. They were battle tested. They showed they can show up in any environment and win a game without even a sweat.
Where are their holes? They're balanced all over on both sides of the ball. Special teams, offense, defense, offensive line. Like, I'm not saying they're the top in the NFL at each one of these units, but they have very minimal to no holes. That doesn't mean that they can beat any team on it. Like this team is special.
It is,
and they have that thing that you can't even calculate. It's not there's a feeling about this team. They're doing it the right way, and I don't know. The sky's the limit.
The best part about all of this too, and I'm just going to keep throwing it out there, is when they get healthy, like they're doing this now with their depth.
Bro.
Think about when they have depth and they're healthy. They're going to be a scary football team. They have, you said it on the morning show, the 2 best coordinators in the NFL right now. They have Dan Campbell who controls everything. I think this team is the best in the NFL right now. I think from top to bottom, with the 49ers injuries, the way the Eagles lost to the Jets, I think this team
Bro, this is without C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, Jonah Jackson, David Montgomery, Josh Pascal, James Houston. Like, the list goes on. Who knows how many of those will come back, but...
And I don't know if Chad Fisher's saying this to me. He said they got cooked by Miami last year.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't remember that game, the Detroit Lions were dominating that game all the way up until halftime, and then the offense just didn't score in the second half. If they would beat the Dolphins right now. Mm-hmm. The Detroit Lions had first of all, the Dolphins rushing offense, those two running backs they've had have been dominant, right?
Yes.
Detroit Lions had the best running defense in the NFL.
Facts.
So
the Miami defense is suspect too.
It is
sus.
Like you would think they'd be like, a top 10, top 15, but they're very sus, dude. So I don't know.
Very sus.